When students are considering ACCA, there are a few questions they have in mind. How many papers to take at once? When you look at each level, how much time do you expect to complete each level? What is the duration per level? Should you give multiple papers at once? What happens if you have exemptions? And in this video, we're going to basically solve all of these problems. As many of you all know, we do help with training for ACCA candidates. We also help with registration and claiming for exemptions. So for that, I'll leave the number below. You can reach out to us. As always, please like, subscribe, and share. What I'm going to first do is I'll divide you guys into profiles, and I'm assuming most of you all fall within one of these buckets. First one is that you've just given your 10th or 12th and you're about to start ACCA from paper number 1. Profile number 2 is that you're a graduate, which means you've been exempted from the first level. First level in this example could mean 3 or 4 papers. It really doesn't matter that much. Profile number 3 is if you are an IPCC or an inter-CA cleared, or even maybe a not cleared student, but you do have exemptions which are more than a graduate. And the final one is that you are a CA qualified, or maybe again a CA not qualified, but you have more exemptions than that of an IPCC student. So this is how we're going to break it down. So first thing is, remember that whatever I suggest is what we've noticed most of the students do. It's what we call the average duration or the average manner in which people plan their entire studies. It does not mean that you cannot go faster or slower than this. So let's start with the average. If you've just given your 10th or 12th and you're about to start from paper number 1, this is how you should aim at it. Knowledge level, which is the first 3, or in our example, the first 4 exams, should take you approximately 1 year to complete. These exams are on demand. You can study for each of these papers within 2 to 3 months, give the exam, pass, move on to the next paper, and so on and so forth. You can take lesser or longer, but we are taking 1 year as an average. Then when you come to the skill level has 5 exams. On an average, again, it takes between 1 to 1.5 years for students, depending on your speed. If you're giving the skill level paper, and let's say you are in your 2nd year or 3rd year of college, we highly recommend that after 1 or 2 skill level papers, you do start working. It's not mandatory or necessary, but it is the perfect time to get into the world. People are always worried, how can I study ACCA and work and attend college together? Trust me, it's something which I would urge you all to do, encourage you all to do, because if you are able to manage this for a few months, maybe a year or 2, you're going to be way ahead of all the people around you, all your peers, all the other students. So it's worth getting into it, and we've all done it, right? It's not that difficult, just that it's a mindset problem that people have. That is for your skill level. Finally, when it comes to the professional papers, the 4 final exams, comfortably candidates completed within a year. So if you're studying ACCA from scratch, it takes 1 year for knowledge, around 1 to 1.5 years for skill, and another year for professional. Average, you can complete the entire ACCA qualification within 3 years. Now keep in mind that knowledge you can finish in 6 months also, skill you can finish within 6 to 12 months if you go quickly, and the professional level also you can finish between 3 to 6 months depending on your speed. However, it's not ideal, and that's the reason that we are suggesting a more comfortable approach. A similar pattern follows based on your exemptions. If you're a graduate, you get, let's say on an average, the first 4 papers exempted. So in a similar manner, you complete the skill level exams within a year, year and a half, and the professional within another year. Don't take more than 2 years if you're a graduate. It's not worth it. You can actually shrink the time frame by giving multiple papers per attempt. So aim at 1.5 to 2 years. It would really help a lot. If you're an inter-CA or an IPCC cleared student, most likely you have 6 exemptions if you've also completed BCom or your graduation. If you have 6 exemptions, that means you have only 7 papers to give. First of all, if you want to go extremely quickly, you can finish all 7 papers within a year. Otherwise, if you want to be a little more on the safer side, then give yourself maybe 1 year plus 1 or 2 quarters max. That means 1.5 years is the maximum time we would recommend you should spend if you are an IPCC student. Also, for an IPCC student, it's actually better because you already have an understanding of finance and accounts from the time that you must have appeared for your inter-CA, and that's why you'll have the ability to give more papers than maybe somebody who's never experienced it. Remember, people make this huge blunder that they feel if I've done IPCC, I'll be able to complete any CA qualification like ACCA. The answer is you can, no doubt, but the approach to studying CA versus ACCA is extremely different. So you will need to slow it down a little bit, experience 1 or 2 exams of ACCA, understand why an accounting paper of ACCA versus an accounting paper of CA is different, and only then speed up your entire process. Till then, take maybe 1 paper at a time, even though you think you have a lot of experience. Finally, if you're a final CA qualified student, you get 9 exemptions, which means there are only 4 papers left. Ideally, ACCA allows you that you can give all 4 papers in 3 months. We would absolutely recommend you do not do that. There are a lot of people who've tried to give it thinking that I've cleared CA, I'll be able to, and it's, of course, clearing CA is extremely difficult, but these are different kinds of exams. So if you've given CA a clear it in the first attempt, you still might have a very challenging time completing ACCA with 4 papers of professional level within 3 months. So ideally give it between 6 to 12 months, which means you give 2 papers per quarter and complete it, or you give 1 paper per quarter and complete it within a year. So in a simple manner, this is how you guys can plan the entire roadmap, or as we call it, the study plan based on your profile. Another way to look at it, no matter where you are, is it's the most comfortable to aim at giving 6 exams in 1 year. So if you can even aim at this, it's really comfortable. That means you can give on an average 2 papers per quarter and then 1 paper for another quarter, and again 2 and again 1, depending on your time schedule and availability. 6 papers is actually doable, manageable. So if you're starting from paper 1, you can finish the entire qualification within 2 years, a little more than 2 years. And if you have exemptions, you can just backward calculate and know that within a year and a half, you can finish. No matter what exemptions you get, you'll be able to complete your ACCA. You come from a different background, or for whatever reason you have different exemptions and you want us to cover that, let us know.